My name is Maddie Vilker, and I am 9th grade.
My name is Peyton Kittleson, and I'm in 9th grade.
My name is Hannah Sheedy, and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm Mrs. Walsh, and I'm a teacher at Verona Area High School.
I'm Isabel, and I'm in 9th grade.
Hi, I'm Miss Homan, and I'm a 9th grade English teacher.
What is social media?
Social media is a platform that can be used by any person of any age.
It includes a lot of different things. It can be something from Twitter accounts, Snapchat.
A place where people can connect to the internet.
Social media are various platforms that people use to communicate with each other over the interwebs.
And teens use it a lot.
How do you use social media?
I use it for sharing pictures mostly.
Try to connect with friends, share pictures, thoughts, that kind of thing.
I use social media to connect with my friends, family, and any people I meet.
I use social media in a multitude of ways. I have Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, just YouTube.
Do you, as a teacher, use social media?
I use Twitter for my AP students. They did a project on Hamlet where they had to tweet and have discussions over Twitter using hashtags, and they had to respond to each other. We use Google Classroom, so that's kind of a platform.
I don't use a ton of social media in math class, but we do things like Kahoots and polling types of things. We communicate through email.
I used Twitter last year a lot. I like to tweet articles at students.
How do you feel that social media influences society?
I think social media in some ways has become too large of a part of our society.
Society is very based on like social media and like how popular you are on social media.
I feel that social media influences society for the good, for the bad. I've seen a lot of movements happening, like hashtags trending, different things going on in the world that can be known through social media.
Social media influences society when somebody posts their opinion and then others can feed off of it.
It has a lot of influence on society, like negative body image and things like that, and a lot of political issues.
It gives so much information and passes along the information that can be really helpful, but there are also some situations where I can find that to be very negative.
I think one of my biggest concerns is that I feel it can sometimes lead to a lot of feelings of anxiety and depression because people are constantly comparing themselves and what they're experiencing to what they see on Instagram or the lives that other people have. And I mean, people only post the best parts of their life.
We as a society, not just students, but adults as well, are really too tied in to what's happening on social media.
And rarely post the worst things. So people kind of go in thinking everyone else has an awesome job and they have a great life, they have a cool house, they have a cool phone, like they have awesome clothes. But in reality, everyone's got ups and downs. And so people don't really see that through social media. They only see the ups, which can cause a lot of anxiety in people that are going out and exploring it.
What are some positive effects of social media?
You can spread information really fast, and you can get connected with people easily.
Some positive effects are definitely like sharing that you have personal news, like you're pregnant or you just had a baby.
I'd say one positive is communication. I can stay in contact with cousins that I would otherwise never talk to because they live in other states. Really communication is the big thing. I can keep up with relatives and old friends, old classmates, and I can reconnect with them. Some negatives of it, again, just kind of that anxiety and depression feeling. Also, it can just overtake your life. So many of my students are always on Instagram, just doing that the whole time, and they're not focused on the world around them and the people around them, which I think is really important.
Okay, and who?
I don't know, wasting your time, I happiness, joy.
Media. It's a great way to get information, news, alerts, things like that.
Like maybe spreading awareness to like diseases, or like maybe like hashtag free Kesha. Shout out to her because she needs some awareness right now.
But sometimes just the social nature of it becomes way too big of an issue and can involve things like bullying and other negative aspects. So there's lots of positives, but negatives as well, and I think it's become just a really overly large part of our lives.
What are some negative effects?
People can get cyberbullied, which is a huge negative effect. There's a lot of trolls out there, so.
A lot of bullying happens online.
Could definitely be like oversharing, giving out personal information, telling too much about your vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO new kids applesauce. That could definitely be a negative.
Just kind of that anxiety and depression feeling. Also, it can just overtake your life. So many of my students are always on Instagram, just doing that the whole time, and they're not focused on the world around them and the people around them, which I think is really important.
Do you feel safe using social media?
It really depends.
I do. Most of my stuff is pretty protected. My Facebook is under a name that is not quite my own, so students won't be able to find me. But the biggest thing, I guess, for teachers is that a lot of employers check your Facebook, so you have to make sure that you keep it really clean. You have to make sure that it's really appropriate, and you have to do that not just as a teacher, but for lots of different careers.
Sometimes I feel safe. It depends on like this type of situation, but usually you can use your power to block somebody or delete their comment or report for bullying and harassment.
I do because I only follow people I know, and I let people follow me if I know them.
So I definitely don't feel unsafe, but when I look at my digital footprint, I get very concerned because if you just search up Maddie Vilker, so many things pop up, and at such a young age, a lot of these kids don't need their emotional tweets to be found by their college acceptance.
Option for private accounts, so that's a safety option, so you don't just have random people coming on your page.
So I feel like I use social media pretty safely. However, I have seen many instances of people not using social media responsibly, or they might use it in a way that could hurt them later down the road, especially with things that get posted on Instagram that you might not want posted on Instagram once you're an adult looking for a job. So I guess that's a really big one.